Okay, so tell me what you're going to do today.
I'm going to call back the people that haven't sent in the ads yet.
Okay,
No, we're gonna call
calling ads.
Some people already paid us, but they haven't sent in the ads.
Calling a printing company.
Making sure we have all the content we need.
Okay.
I'm going to finish up my story and
Okay.
then send it in there.
So we want to be able to go over to print at the Ledger tomorrow. So that means by the end of today, we want to have the electronic version finished, right?
Yeah, we also need to contact everyone we need to put newspapers and everywhere.
Okay.
We have some places to
Yeah, we
find
need to
them, but
definitely
And we need to,
contact them.
like, not everybody is giving us money and ads.
Okay. That is something that definitely needs to be taken care of.
What we are doing is giving middle school students the opportunity to have real-world experiences in professional fields. Altogether, the machine of school has become really disconnected from what students actually need. So everyone has great intentions, but the methods by which we prepare students to succeed in the real world has become really misaligned with the skills that those students actually need. Project-based education is an attempt to mirror real life much more accurately than simply receiving some kind of information from the teacher and then repeating it on a page. Students would construct their own understanding through experience of doing something real. So our journalism class is split into 3 teams. We have a radio news team, we have a print newspaper team, and we have a television news team. So in the morning, our students have traditional academic classes, English, social studies, math, science, and we've broken them into 2 groups, the traditional students and the students who have done journalism.
We are here with Amy Anderson and Celeste Simpson, who are helping to coordinate the gratitude event.
The Fairfield Radio Action News team, they were the pioneers of this project. They've been working for quite some time. We just passed our 85th show, so they've been working pretty hard for this last semester.
So can you tell us a little bit about the gratitude event and what you are doing to make this a happy event for all the donors?
So we're from the Fairfield Chronicles, an up-and-coming newspaper, and we were wondering if you'd like to buy an ad.
We have a newspaper team. So they went out and gathered advertising to cover the cost of printing 1,000 newspapers every week. And they will be distributing those newspapers around Fairfield every Friday. So people around the community will get to read their writing and see the ads they put together for our clients.
Can you tell me what the costs are?
Well, here's the costs.
Okay. How big is a page?
A page is 11.25 by 16.75. If you've seen the ledger, it's just one of those pages.
I should have.
It's the size of the
I
weekly
have
reader.
a ledger somewhere, so I can tell. So then we would pay how much for all 5 issues?
For 1/8 of a page is $7.99, which is basically 8, and for
It's
times
about
5,
$40.
so about
So
40.
approximately $40.
$39.95.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so we'll do that.
Or
So do you want me to
card
give you the money now?
That would be great.
That'd be the easiest.
That
Then.
would be
I don't
easy.
have to. Okay, and that's payable too?
Marcia School.
Marcia School, and then
Okay.
in the memo, News 1812.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh,
great. That's
All
great.
right.
Okay. Have you got enough advertising?
You can't teach someone how to sell an ad from reading a textbook and practicing with your partner in class. The only way you'll actually learn is to go out and knock on a lot of doors, shake a lot of hands, and try to exchange a valuable service for real money.
Who's the treasurer?
I got this.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
So the radio show is on 3 times a day. It is originally on at 12:15 every single day, and then again on the 6s.
Sometimes it's fun for me because I'm like, I'll be emailing a person and they won't know that I'm only in 7th grade. And then I show up and they're like, oh, hi. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm a 7th grader and I'm here to interview you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I got this.
It also kind of happens like when we set up a meeting with some other radio station or something like that. They expect to be more talking to our teacher, Mr. Incorvia, but it turns out that like we're more of the ones that are like talking and figuring stuff out with them.
I helped them at first, but now they're entirely on their own, and the only interaction I really have is I check the radio station's server in the morning and see if there's a show up there, and that's the first time I hear it. You're going to listen to the show we made yesterday.
The Jefferson County Farmers Market has recently closed down. Hermela Gebremariam talked to the president of the Outdoors Farmers Market to find out more.
We are here with Joy Salmon, president of the Jefferson County Farmers Market, so she can tell us a little bit more.
Paloma Braun talked to Sheila Higgins about the upcoming tennis season for students at MSAE. Here's the full report.
We are here with Sheila Higgins, who is the girls tennis coach at Maharishi School.
That's all the news for today. Stay tuned for more current events happening in Fairfield. This is Daniel Drew with Fairfield Radio Action News.
So, feedback, what do we think?
I need to get my mic a little better.
So try to mix things up. Find a different way of getting that working. Okay.
When I say we are here with, I should say Sheila Higgins is on the line instead of we are here because she's not here with me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it'll also kind of like prepare the listeners, you know, like, oh, I'm about to hear like a cell phone quality interview or something like that. Yeah. It's funny how like we're doing the 85th show and there's still like a lot to improve. When do you guys think you'll ever not need to improve?
Never.
Never, yeah. That's the trick. Okay. Good work, guys. One great thing about our authentic projects is that there are authentic deadlines as well. So the kids, I allow them to manage their own schedule. I just constantly remind them of the real deadlines. That paper has to be sent to the printer on Wednesday, or else it's not going to be printed by Friday, and then all the people who have paid for ads won't have their ads distributed around Fairfield that week. So as long as they hit their deadlines, as long as they create great work, they can get there how they need to get there.
Okay, so it sounds like a lot to do. So I'll be over at the radio station, so you guys will have to take care of it yourselves, okay?
Okay.
I don't know if you can make it, but I trust that you will work as hard as you can, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good luck.
Wait, you guys, before we go, we should split up into teams. We'll get a lot of more work done. Okay, so I obviously have to finish my thing. My story.
Let's update the total.
And I'll do that alone.
I'm gonna call people for advertisement because
For getting it or callback?
callbacks.
For money or just like
For
images?
money, and they actually ask people to images.
Okay, so you'll do that. Do you want a team or just you?
No, I can do it.
Okay, Beatrice, do you want to do, you and Bella want to call places or email them and see if we can put our newspaper there?
And you call Amy Sparby.
And go over some questions with her. Make out a list of questions before you call it, so you're not like,
Do you have her email?
No, I don't.
Table of contents?
No, let's call her.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
just call her.
call Fairfield.
Fairfield Ledger. So look up Fairfield Ledger on the
Once they were put on team together, I think they felt like, well, you know, this is our show now. We were the ones who stepped up and wanted to do it. I think it's such a departure from regular class where the students are there and they do work because they're told to do work. I say, hey, this is the assignment, so you're going to do it. And the kids do the assignment because I told them to do it. Where our journalism students are doing the work because they've decided that it's important for them to be on the team. They want to do it. They want to contribute to local interests and news. They want to support Fairfield.
I get to go out into my community and just learn about different projects that are going on, and I feel like I'm being of service.
They just want to do something exciting. And I think that kind of creates this culture of excellence where the students will look to the left and right and they'll see students who want to be there. They want to work hard. They're excited about making something interesting and new. And that causes them to want to work harder.
I've noticed that to sound more like the professional radio station, when you're speaking, you should like change the pitch of your voice at the beginning and end of the sentence, and also like speak pretty fast and get the facts out. But
the trick with projects is to make it very clear of what's expected. And then once they get the idea of what a project looks like and what the expectations are, and we structure into the project several drafts, several iterations of the project so that they have the chance to try something, be courageous, and perhaps fail at this, and then move on into the next iteration so that they can learn from their failures without it really being a failure.
We're here because the check was written out to the wrong person by our mistake. And what we're doing here is that we're going to give our old check to them, and they're going to write a new check for us.
It can be frightening for us to trust the students as much as we're doing, to saying, you know what, you publish that paper, you go for it. And I will give you the distance to succeed on your own or to fail on your own. That's a frightening thing for a middle school teacher to be able to do, is to trust their students with the responsibility of their own learning. Our TV team is having some problems. They wanted to do like a 60-minute style news show about Fairfield every week that would air on Fridays. And it just never really got off the ground. And so at the end of the third quarter, we had a sit-down meeting, and I asked them, what do they need to be successful, or if they wanted to stop doing the project. And the result of that meeting was that one of the two team members, we decided that he would go back to the mainstream class, leave the journalism project. And the other student, Misbah, she decided that she wanted to keep going. So here we are now, 2 weeks later, and tomorrow she's supposed to go to the Fairfield Public Access channel to shoot some interviews and do the intro, but as of right now, she doesn't have an interview set up. So I think we're going to have a meeting with her to discuss what the future of the team is going to be. Would you be upset if I pulled the plug on the program?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know that when I was getting interviewed for this job that I was signing up for a lot of work and a lot less help, but I want to prove to you that I can do this.
Okay, so if you were me and you had a student who just spent 12 weeks trying to put something together and this is where we got, what would you do?
I'd fire them.
Okay. Right now, I just think that your main weakness is that you're coming at this alone. You need a team.
Yeah.
So, but honestly, I'm going to give the final decision to you. What do you think is going to be best for your experience being a journalist and a student here at the school?
I want to be a journalist. I don't want to come in here every day and learn how to spell words and just read.
Okay.
I like doing things I want to do things that I haven't done before. I mean, reading, writing, I've done those ever since first grade. And I was really excited when I came into 7th grade. And I just really, really want to just be out there.
So what do you want to do?
I want to be a journalist. I want to make TV shows.
So this is not an open-ended condition here. If you're going to continue, how will we know that it's working now? And when do you want to meet again? And how will we know if it's time to pull the plug or it's time to celebrate?
I think I need Friday of next week, and then if I have this grain salad project together, then I think I should be able to stay. But if I don't, then there's no point of me, staying in this class if I haven't gotten anything together.
Okay, deal. Sometimes projects don't work out, but they never fail because, Misbah learns a lot by struggling through something and finding out that it doesn't work. That's real life. Is unfortunately, sometimes we work really hard on things and it doesn't work. And what's important is learning how to pick ourselves up and go forward.
This is Melanie.
Hi, can I talk to Amy Sparby, please?
Okay, just a moment.
Hi, this is Cecilia from the Fairfield Chronicles. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So we have all the money, and we would like to bring it in today.
No problem. Email the pages?
Yes, we're gonna email you the pages today. This morning.
Okay.
Okay. But we'll bring in the money this afternoon. Does like 2:30 work?
Sure, I'll be here. That's just fine.
And so I should just ask for Amy.
That's for Amy. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Hi.
Hi, Amy.
I'm Amy.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you. I'm Cecilia.
Nice to meet you, Cecilia.
Bella.
Hi, Bella.
Jason.
Hi, Jason. How are you?
Good.
And I got your pages. Everything looks good. Yeah, we'll print them and then I'll call you and then you can pick them up on Friday. Okay. It should
Can
be
you
maybe.
email us actually? Because we all have kind of different cell
Okay.
phones, so we don't have like a
Should I
direct.
use that last email that I had?
The Fairfield Chronicles.
Okay.
Not that last email I just gave you. That was
Okay.
just for someone from our school.
Fairfield.
Here, Bella has
That
a
was
little thing
me.
for you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So I'll email you as soon as they're done.
And you'll email us the time to pick them up or
Yep.
general.
Yep. We'll have them ready for you.
Thank you.
Is that all?
Is that everything?
Okay.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
We'll see you later.
She said she'll email us on Friday when we can come pick it up.
Okay.
And then we collect it here.
Okay. Okay. Any time? Like in the morning?
She'll give us a general time when she emails us. And she opened it and it looked good. Like, in general.
Okay, good, exciting. Okay,
Okay,
good.
that works.
All right, so we need to find some locations and that'd be it, okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
My first year teaching middle school, I learned that we would go through the book and we would learn something, and then just sometimes less than a week later, they would immediately forget everything that we covered. And that was like really disheartening for me, to go through all that work and just to feel like it was really for nothing. And so what happened was I started doing many more projects where the kids had to cut and glue and paste, make things, put on performances, do paintings, whatever. And I found that not only did they start having a good time, but the further we got into those kinds of projects, the more they actually held on to what we were teaching. And so suddenly I thought, oh, I bet there's more here that we can find. So I started trying to construct projects that not only would the kids really have a good time, but they would learn a lot also. So that's how I stumbled onto project-based education. It was mostly through finding out that direct instruction is incredibly boring, and nobody learns anything when they're bored.
We're going to the Ledger to pick up our newspaper.
First issue. Really excited to see them.
Hopefully it's good.
How well do you think the rest of the paper went?
Yeah, you know what was interesting was that like when the kids showed me the stack and they were immediately already thinking of like, okay, what do we do now? Do we, like you guys go over to this store and you guys go over to that store and drop them off, and it was me who first said like, well, give me a paper, I want to see it, like.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like a paper.
It looks pretty good, yeah.
Someone forgot to capitalize that P.
Wow. Anyway, I could also see like a lot of stuff we can improve.
Yeah, I was relieved,
Which
but then, then I was like, oh, we need to do so much more.
Yeah.
We're not done yet.
The text has to be smaller.
It was kind of huge.
I mean, That's the other thing about this is if they came to me and said, Mr. Incorvia, what size font should we use? I have no idea. Never made a newspaper before, so they have to go out and find someone who has.
Well, I think that the next one will be definitely a lot better now that we know what we need to fix.
How many distribution centers do you have? How many different places was the newspaper put around?
Well, the kids went to a bunch of places on the square.
We talked to someone about leaving some papers here.
Yes, you can actually put it here.
Oh, okay.
They had some kind of spreadsheet, but they forgot that when they went to the square. So they just kind of walked into every store on our town square and asked.
So we were wondering if we could leave some of our newspaper here.
Hello, this is Ms. Akbar coming to you from Fairfield News TV. Today's story is about the grain silo project that's happening here in Fairfield. I talked to a few people about their thoughts and comments. Hello, Mayor Malloy.
Hi, Ms. Beth, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good.
So there's this grain silo project happening here in Fairfield, and I'd like to hear your thoughts and comments about it.
Okay.
So
I think it's really exciting to watch them go from panic and being overwhelmed with something to being confident and in control of it.
Misva did a really great job. She came prepared. Her questions were very clear. She listened very well and asked some good follow-up questions. It was a delight.
The school has been extremely supportive. They've really allowed us to take a lot of curricular time and devote them to these really large projects. And that's a scary thing for teachers and administrators to do. But when they see how much responsibility the students take and they see the results, when they read the paper and they say, wow, this is really good, or they hear them on the radio and they hear how much confidence they have and they hear them interviewing the mayor, it's immediately apparent how important their work is. And I think that has gone a long way to smooth out any kind of fear and roughness that might have come up because of doing something so different. Other teachers will come to us and they say, like, what are you doing? How do I do this? And the thing about project-based education is that it's really only a tool to help students take responsibility for themselves. Any way you can get a student to become authentically interested, to buy in, to be excited and passionate about what they're doing, then if you're a teacher, you grab that thing and you hold on to it as long as you can. So radio, TV, and print works for our middle school. You know, some other high school or middle school or lower school across America will be a different thing that's important for their community and their school.